Hello everyone and welcome back to F1 Gamepad and welcome to our very first look at F125 here on the channel. Yes, in today's video we will be driving our very first laps on F125. We're going to do a 50% race around Bahrain, see how the AI behave and just generally get a feel for the game. And if you stay tuned to the end, we will be doing a quick 5-lap reverse track race at Austria. So without further ado, let's get into it. So here we are at last on F125. It seems like we've been talking about this one for a very long time now. I initially thought I would do a last to first on this one, but I just wanted to get a feel for the game. Obviously Bahrain is one of the LiDAR scan tracks, and so it was one in my head I know quite well, so I wanted to go out. And as you can see, we're going to be driving as Lewis Hamilton in the Ferrari. Don't know anything about setups. I'm not a big setups guy anyway. I really want to try and get into them a little bit more on this game. I think the last time I really tried to even use setups was probably F1 2020. So I'm going with my default kind of like F124 kind of setup, which is basically put the brakes to 100%, reduce the tire pressures by 2 clicks on each tire and go for it. But here we are on a flying lap, a one-shot qualifying, and yeah, I'm just trying to get a feel for the game. Overall I thought, you know, it felt good, but yeah, less traction out of a corner, so I couldn't just like plant the accelerator as quickly as I could on F124. So that's the first thing I noticed on this lap. I'm just trying to get a feel for it here. I'm not really thinking about qualifying position, just trying to drive the track. And as you can see, we're a little bit down on where we should be, but yeah, I think that's the one thing you guys will probably notice. A little bit of understeer, a little bit more snappy, and a little bit less traction, and a little bit less grip in the corners. Feels a little bit, oh, I see I got deep there. It just feels a little bit, how can I say, like less traction. Once you get on the straights and you get going, you've got like immense amounts of traction and grip, and it feels really, really good. So it's just going to be a little bit of a learning curve with the new steering model. It's still pointy, but I feel like it's less forgiving for sure than F124. Now, I'm one of these people that really, really liked F124, purely because I'm a controller player, and I think it made it super nice to drive on the controller. I think wheel players obviously had a little bit of a different opinion. But nevertheless, this is a new game. It's going to take a little while to get used to, and we eventually crossed the line, and my very first lap on F125, and we are P8, which, you know, I don't feel is that unrealistic for Lewis Hamilton this year in the Ferrari. I can't actually remember where he qualified at Bahrain, but you know, probably a little bit higher up, who knows. But I think that, you know, I wanted to get a good grasp of that. As you can see, Lando Norris taking pole there, and Yuki Tsunoda in second place. So yeah, we're going to jump into this race. I'm going to let the game play so you can hear the sounds of the game, see me get into grips with the game, and I'll try to talk you through some moments in the race.
It started as a day race. Now it runs at night. Welcome to the Bahrain International Circuit, and welcome to the Bahrain Grand Prix. Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36-mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities, and it could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakhir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Yuki Tsunoda completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Charles Leclerc, and Russell, Antonelli, Hamilton, Piastri, and Nico Hülkenberg, Stroll, Gasly, Gabriel Bortoleto and Albon. Ocon, Hadja, Carlos Sainz and Jack Doohan. Lawson and Ollie Behrman rounds off the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And alongside me today, former Formula One driver and former world champion too. See, told you I'll give you a big intro. Anthony Davidson, hello. So we're getting close to the start of the race. What will this driver be experiencing? Big nerves, big excitement, what?
Always extra nerves at the start of the race, Gruffy. It's probably at the start of the race, it's where your heart rate's at its highest in anticipation. And you've got to be in the right mindset. You've got to be thinking there inside the car, what can go right? How can I be opportunistic rather than what can go wrong? And how do I protect my position? Look forward and stay positive. It's easy to say, very hard to do when you're in that position.
Radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
And there are the new radio check announcements pre-race. Much more realistic, I think, to hear it in the cockpit rather than the formation lap. Strategy-wise, it looks like a 2-stop. Nothing's really changed there from F125. Maybe they've tweaked the tyre wear a little bit. It looks a little bit more extreme, which is correct for Bahrain. Fuel-wise, really don't know what to do here, so I'm just putting 0.8 in and hoping that's good enough.
Pull the clutch in, hold it there until the start. Let's build the revs up and hold them. Okay, clutch out, go, go, go!
Wow. Well, I actually thought initially that the race had started. He did that with so much gusto, but thanks for running through how to do a race start there, Mark. I want you to just pay attention a little bit to the graphics on this. I think they've really dramatically improved them. The tyre wear is very obvious on this. You know, you start off with a shiny new set, and by the end of the race, they're dull and they're all, you know, kind of ripped up, and they look like you've done a race, which is great. Nothing much there different with the start procedure after the getting to the grid box, but now we are getting ready for 5 red lights, and we are about to get underway in our first race on F125, and that's 5 red lights. And it's go, and we get away to a decent-ish start. I'm trying to challenge Russell early on here, and you can see that a little bit more. You know, I want to pay attention to the AI here, because, you know, they are a little bit more racy. They do squeeze you, they do race you, they will, you know, compete with you and each other, which is really, really nice to see. And that's one of the major takeaways I actually got from this initial playthrough, is you can actually see the AI racing each other. Look at Verstappen and Russell here, you see, side by side. No one's giving it up through this corner. Normally somebody would, we go deep, we're out of it, hit somebody there, oh god, it's all going wrong for us. But in front of us, we actually hit Antonelli, we go deep here. I obviously didn't warm my tyres up very, very well on that formation lap, but you can see them here, even into turn 10, fighting each other side by side. It's really, really good to see, because no more trains, as well, I didn't see as many, at least, as Russell finally gets past Verstappen, and we settle into the race, give Verstappen, our old driver, a little love tap there. I'm trying to get used to the braking here and how quick or slow the AI are in the corners. Yeah, so I'm just gonna talk you through bits and pieces of this race, because I really just want you to, like, you know, watch for the little things that I were watching, because I was really trying to just get used to the handling, get used to the racing. But you can see Verstappen's not giving up on Russell, is he? He's not, like, just falling back or just, like, sitting in the train. He's having a look. You know, I really do hope that they've tried to tweak the AI, but also tried to, you know, tweak the little aspects of each driver's personality, you know, because I think that's really, really important. As Verstappen is going down the outside of Russell here, Russell's not giving up that place, and it's put us in DRS range here, which will help us, because Piastri is not too far behind. But yeah, as you can see, we're going to give Verstappen another little love tap. you know, Rubbins Racing, bumping, I guess it's something, as long as you don't lose your front wing. Anyway, we're going to keep going on with this lap, and as we'll fast forward now to lap 2, Verstappen, as you can see, Russell's pulled away a little bit, and Verstappen's kind of given up. Dirty air, yes, it's a thing. It really is a thing. I can tell you, as we make a move on Verstappen here, just a second, into the first corner. Oh, somebody locks up there. It's Tsunoda, and we get down the inside, and Tsunoda now and Verstappen are running together, and we'll take those places. Thank you very much. Yeah, as I was saying, dirty air, yeah, is definitely a thing on this game. I noticed that dramatically as I was close to a car in slow corners. It was definitely harder to turn those cars in. As you can see here now, Russell and Norris going at it, and we are going to fight this all the way. Little corner cut there, never mind, didn't get a warning, got away with it. Russell squeezing us, shutting the door there, and there's no real way through for us there, so we try down the inside, which is more successful. A little bump on the curb, but he's still there. You see, he's still there on the left hand side fighting that place. He didn't just give it up, he did actually fight it. Lap 4 now, and we are closing in on Lando Norris. I think I probably have to tweak the AI. I forget what I had it set on here, but I was, you know, tentative as it was a new game. I'm a casual racer, but I think, you know, I can set the AI at the same level as was running on F125, if not a little bit higher. Especially on a track like this, where I know it and I love it. So here we go. As we are approaching the first corner, we're going to get the same move done on Norris. Yes, we do. Lovely stuff. But like I say, you know, I think it's definitely an improvement graphically. It's definitely an improvement, you know, when you see the AI racing, and battery management is the same. I didn't mind it. I know some people were like, you know, I don't like this so much, but battery management is good on this game. And at this point, we'd caught up with Alonso, and yeah, I tried to follow Alonso a little bit rather than just overtake him, purely because I wanted to see what happened to the tyre temperatures, what happened to the engine temperatures, you know, and I did this for a little while, but other than a degree here or a degree there, I really didn't see anything happen. And maybe I'm not close enough, maybe I need to be significantly behind a car, and your car needs to be following for a long time before you see that engine uptick, or, you know, maybe it's not kind of tweaked yet, but I did really enjoy this. And something else I want to just touch upon before we get any further is I did notice that a lot of the AI they didn't all choose medium tyres to start on, or soft tyres, or hard tyres. They were all on different strategies. As you can see, we've got a lot of soft runners, me on hards, and Tsunoda on mediums, and that was the picture throughout the grid, really. So you've got a mix of strategies here, a mix of ideas of how to get around this. Now, I'm sure there's going to be some tracks that are a little bit more stable when it comes to strategy, you know, either starting on mediums or starting on hards, whatever. I massively overcorrect getting past Alonso. I'd followed him for a little while there, and I just massively overcorrected. But something's going to happen now, and it's we're going to get a safety car. A safety car briefly gets thrown, and then the race goes to red flag. Now, having to review the footage afterwards, I don't really know what happened. All I could find was Leclerc spinning and like kind of sitting there. So my teammate like sat there for a little while and stops. And you can see here, briefly a safety car comes out. We slow our delta down, and then before we know it, the red flag is out, and we have to adjust our strategy. And it's really a great timing for us. We were probably, as Mark was saying there, probably far enough on in our cycle to you know, change our tires, and we are in P1.
So let's think very carefully about
and as you can hear now, Mark is explaining red flags are basically what they are and how you do it. I'm not going to go into that. I think you guys are probably big enough fans of F1 to know what a red flag is. This is interesting. Obviously, I was trying at the time to tweak my strategy here, and I didn't want to do 2 more stops. However, I couldn't figure out how to delete the last stint, and was trying to rack my brain about whether I could do that on the other game, and I was pretty sure I could when it threw a red flag, but I guess I just think the game mechanic here is either they didn't believe I could get to the end on whatever combination of tire I was going to choose, so I needed to, I mean, that didn't really make a lot of sense to me either with the hard tire. Anyway, I tweaked around with this for far too long, and I'm not going to bore you with it. I ended up settling on a soft, medium, soft, and we took the restart from there.
Wait in just a moment. Stand by.
And as we get back underway here after the red flag, I'm just going to close my mouth for a little while, and I'm just going to let you enjoy the sounds of the game.
That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Here we are, making our one and only pit stop, because I'm not doing that two-stop. I'm going to see if I can get these tyres to the end. As you can see, pretty much the same mechanic as in F123 and F124. A little click to turn in, get that good timing, and get underway. I didn't know I wasn't going to do the second stop at this stage. I actually was just planning on doing whatever the game wanted me to, but as it became obvious further on the line that that would probably detrimentally affect our race, I just really wanted to do one more stop, and that's a massive lockup from doing, and we end up like touching Charles Leclerc there, our teammate, and as you can see, again, AI are making mistakes. They're a little bit more human, which is what kind of the game needed. We didn't need to be feeling like we were racing robots. For anybody that's a single player like me that doesn't really go online to play online races, because in my experience they're terrible, but that's what we want. We want more human AI, more mistakes from the AI, more just, you know, we don't want them to be perfect all of the time, which is what they've been for the longest time. I'm gonna let this kind of play out for a little bit. Massive snap. I'm still working on traction out of corners. As you can see, I'm still working with that muscle memory of F124, where I can just like really like plant that you know, accelerator down to the ground very quickly. But definitely, if you're going to pick this game up, if you haven't already and you're not playing it, I would urge you to do it. Like, I know it's a copy and paste. Some years you feel like it's a copy and paste, but they do a lot of work behind the scenes. I know they do, and they do make mistakes, as we're going to get Charles Leclerc here, and we're going to try to get doing around the outside, and we just do it. You know, they do make a lot of, actually he's still there, look at him, he's fighting back. He's fighting back down the thing. We're going to have to use battery. We're going to... Are we using battery? I can't even remember. But we're going to get him into the first corner. But you see, again, I can't say it enough. It's what the game needed. The AI are much more racy, and it's what we need. Honestly, you know, as I was saying, they do... Tweaks do seem incremental, I know. But this game genuinely feels like there's been a lot of work done on basically everything I've touched so far. I've not obviously been in my team, I've still not been in driver career, and I haven't, you know, played Breaking Point 3. But this is the move. Just a minute. This is the move of the race. I'm on the back of Hadjar here. I've decided to go down the inside. I kind of outbrake myself, but managed to get round and past Science without taking him out, which is, you know, probably a little bit more luck than judgment. But honestly, I'm noticing right out of the box a lot of difference. This now became, as everybody pits, this became a race of, you know, margins, and I was just managing and looking at tyre wear, trying to figure out whether or not I could get this set to the end, and lap by lap as we went along I decided I was gonna try to get there on and not change the tyre again. And I told you at the beginning of the race to look out for the wear on the tyres. Now you can see it during the race as you're actually racing around. You can see the tyres getting duller. You can see little spots developing as you're picking up rubber, and there's like little bits of wear, which is, you know, I know it's been kind of on the game, but it's much more pronounced this time around for me. And just to illustrate that, I just really want to pause the game for a second and go into photo mode to show you that very thing. Hopefully you can tell all the pickup, all the wear on that front tyre of Lewis Hamilton's car. It's unbelievably different. The graphics are definitely upscaled. You're probably not going to be able to tell because it's kind of downgraded on YouTube, but honestly, trust me when I say you will notice a difference. We are starting our final lap here, and I'm just going to let it go. The final lap of the first race on F125. Enjoy again the sounds of the game, and I'll see you afterwards.
Checkered flag.
And there we go. We win the race. Lewis Hamilton in the Ferrari for the first time. Jack Doohan gets driver of the day. Something else I really want to mention in this kind of like whole thing is that I did notice the tyre wear as well. As the tyres wore, I found it more and more difficult to drive. Still possible, but you definitely feel the tyre wear change, and you know, the grip of the car alter, and that's something that wasn't as prevalent on the last game. And of course we're about to see the brand new podium celebrations. They're not really brand new. It looks roughly like the same animations, but it's just how they've done the camera work. It's different. It makes you feel like you're a little bit more there, a little bit more into it, and there's just a different feel to it. So not completely brand new. Animations are roughly the same, but it will feel a little bit different inside the game. And of course, we promised you as bonus content a reverse race. That's something else they've done on this game, is reverse race. Now, is it a gimmick, or does it genuinely feel like something that the game needed? Well, we're about to get into it. and we are about to find out, and I'm about to give you my first impressions of a quick 5-lap reverse race, Austria. Let's get into it. So here we are on the grid as Jack Doohan in the Alpine, 5 red lights, and we are underway at Austria, a reverse race grid. This feels very different, I'm not going to lie to you. I had no idea, no warm-up, not a clue what the AI was going to do, not a clue where the track really went. I was trying to think about Austria, but in reverse in my head, and it didn't really help. Contact in the corner there, I got my braking all wrong. But this genuinely does feel different, and I didn't feel like, oh, this is just Austria. It genuinely felt like a different track. As you can see, I'm not getting my braking right. That corner is really clumsy uphill. That's going to take some getting used to, but this is straight out. This is my first impression of a reverse race, and I have to say I really did enjoy this. I upped the AI a little bit to what I was really running on F125, which was about, I think, roughly 85, 90, depending on track. And as you can see, whoops-a-daisy, got all that wrong. Well, good job we've got we've got a 2-second penalty there. We're not taking that 5-lap race. We'll reverse that and pretend that never happened. You never saw that. And we're going to continue on. And you will again see the AI battle here. Not just with me, but mainly with each other, because after that move, I don't really think I really make any moves. But as you can see, Alonso not waiting around, going to shove me right out of the way there into the corner, and he's down the road and already after Isaac Ajar, as Kimi Antonelli sets the fastest lap of the race. No, this was really good, and as my laps did go on, I did get better, and I got better with the braking, I got better with the track. It was a little easier, but again, look at Alonso attacking, getting around Hajar, and Hajar's gonna try to fight him back here. It's really good to see the AI battle with each other, and you know, I genuinely think this is my first and so far only reverse track that I've tried, but genuinely it is a little bit of fun, and the fact that you can add them to career mode, whether it be my team or whether it be driver career mode in the second season onwards, I think, you know, it just gives you more options. And you know, people will probably criticize it. Oh, we didn't need reverse grids, we didn't need this, we didn't need reverse tracks, we didn't need all that. It's all a gimmick, it's all a you know, it gives us options, and I think whatever the options are, whether it be reverse grids or short tracks, I think bring it on. I'd love them to reintroduce the short tracks. I'd love them on this first impression of this track. I would love them to add more reverse tracks in the future, and I hope they do. I hope they do, and hopefully as maybe DLC in this game, or maybe we'll have to wait for F126 if indeed they do get that contract renewed. Running low on battery here, and Stroll is wanting my position, but I'm gonna hang on to P12. No points, of course. Traction out of the corners again is an issue, but honestly, I really had a lot of fun racing this game, both the reverse track and our regular 50% race at Bahrain, and I can't wait to get into more on this. There's going to be a My Team 2.0, for better or for worse. We're going to take a newcomer to the grid and we're going to try to become world champions. There's going to be a driver career that we do that starts on in F2, and of course, once we've finished our final episode of Breaking Point, which is coming tomorrow as you are watching this. I am trying my best to get this video out today for you, so you can have this and then you can watch Breaking Point, the finale, tomorrow, and then after that we're going to work on Breaking Point 3 and bringing that driver career and that My Team career to you. So that's it for today's video. I've tried something different here by trying to commentate over it. Not the most polished. Hopefully I'll get better. But until next time, guys, if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thank you so much for your patience. Hopefully it's been entertaining. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.